these type of situations happens every day. Every day. At is gambling and shit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And rob the dice game or whatever, you feel me? No matter who the yeah.
I'm gonna tear that up.
Boozie done stepped back into the fire, but this time, it ain't about music or some wild IG rant. Nah, this is next level serious. We're talking life or death, federal heat, and streets buzzing like a hive full of angry bees. Word is, Duke, the jeweler, didn't just vanish, he was taken out execution style. And guess whose name keeps swirling in the middle of this deadly storm? Boozie. And no, this ain't just messy internet gossip. This is real deal, backed by federal paperwork, alleged eyewitnesses, and suspicious evidence that's starting to paint a chilling picture. Social media's in flames, the streets won't stop talking, and even the barbershop whispers just got a whole lot louder. What started as quiet side-eye is now a full-blown federal investigation, and every new breadcrumb, it's making Boozie look worse. We're talking shady traffic stops, mysterious missing jewelry, and dice games that might have ended in bloodshed. It's like someone stitching together every messy detail from Boozie's orbit, and the story it's telling, it's ugly, real ugly. This ain't just some random drama, it's a ticking time bomb. It all started when Boozie was out riding, minding his own, or so it seemed. Out of nowhere, sirens, flashing lights, pulled over. At first, folks shrugged it off. Boozie been through this rodeo before, right? But then things started clicking. Why that car? Why that date? Something ain't adding up. And trust, the deeper you dig, the more sinister this story gets. And that's when things took a dark, chilling turn. That traffic stop, it wasn't just some routine pullover, it went down right after Duke, the jeweler, got gunned down in Houston. You telling me that's just coincidence? The timing was too perfect, too eerie. Soon as that news hit, the internet exploded. Conspiracy theories, street talk, Reddit threads, everyone started looking at Boozie sideways like, yo, is this deeper than we thought? Then the feds pulled up. And they didn't come to play. This ain't your typical Boozie in court situation. This is federal murder investigation territory now. Word on the inside, the feds flat out told Boozie this case stands alone. No delays, no distractions. We're not playing side missions, we're going straight for the main boss. Behind the scenes, they already making power moves, quietly splitting this case from all Boozie's old charges. They're digging deep who was with Duke that night, who made it out alive, and more importantly, who's suddenly gone quiet or unavailable now. Meanwhile, Boozie's online acting unbothered still, dropping posts and tracks like nothing happened. But behind that screen, the feds got him marked as a top-level person of interest in a murder case. This ain't no drill, they're tracking every move, every phone call, every upload. And baby, they are building a timeline piece by piece according to Houston PD's own report. Duke flew in from Chicago strictly to handle business with Boozie. He wasn't pulling up for a party. Nah, he had over $1 million in custom jewelry on him, stashed tight in a Louis Vuitton bag. This wasn't no side hustle. This was high stakes. Earlier that day, Duke was spotted chilling ringside at a celeb boxing match, brushing shoulders with heavy hitters. Then he slid into a private dice game, the same one where Boozie and a couple of known faces were hanging out. But right after that, boom, Duke was robbed and shot dead. Just like that, gone. The Louis bag, missing. The jewelry, vanished. No witnesses, no cameras, no answers. And Boozie claimed Duke left solo, said he didn't know what happened after that. But come on now, Duke flew out just to meet with him, and minutes after they're seen together, he ends up dead in the street. The feds ain't buying that story, not for a second. Then comes Stacks, Duke's brother, and he ain't holding back. Stacks hit the internet and dropped bombs. No cryptic shade, no sugarcoating. He flat out accused Boozie of setting his brother up. Boozie was the last person my brother saw alive, point blank, and with the feds watching, fans speculating, and the timeline stacking up, one thing's for sure, this case ain't going away. The streets want justice. The feds want answers. And Stacks, he's making sure Duke's name doesn't fade in silence. Tomorrow, they'll gather for Duke's service. But the real storm, it's just getting started.
I'm off for Duke. Leave your phones in the car, man. The family don't want no phones, man. We ain't got time, motherfucker, be sneaking no pictures, no videos. No bullshit like that. Leave your phones in the car, man. The family asking for no pictures, no recording and shit like that, man. So if y'all want to get y'all little ass slapped up.
And that's when the whole thing turned from suspicious to downright spooky. See, Duke's brother Stacks, he wasn't just grieving, he was out here putting in work like a street detective, studying footage, checking timestamps, comparing who was where and when like he's running his own true crime channel. And the conclusion he came to, Duke ain't just get caught slipping. He got lined up. This ain't sitting right with anybody. The vibe off, the silence deafening. This whole thing smells like a setup from inside the circle, the kind of betrayal that hits you deeper than any street beef. Cause let's be real, Duke didn't fly down to Houston on some backdoor hustle. He came through legit, pulling up with over $1 million in custom jewelry, packed neatly in that designer Louis Vuitton duffel. This wasn't some clout chaser with a flashy chain. Duke was respected, a major player in the game, known for lacing rappers, athletes, and A-listers with straight ice masterpieces. He showed up proud, flashing his pieces, thinking he was among folks who respected his grind. But what did he get in return? A dice game that went sideways, a missing bag, no footage, and his body left cold. The timeline don't lie, he walked in with everything and left with nothing, not even his life. That ain't a coincidence. That's intent. And then comes the wildest twist of all. Houston PD confirmed that the same Louis Vuitton bag, the one stuffed with over $1 million in ice, was later found inside Boozie's house. Let that sit with you for a second. Not in a car, not in some homie's closet, in his actual crib, and the whisper started turning into shouts. Word on the block says Duke had asked Boozie to hold the bag during the dice game, a gesture of trust. But when the shots rang out and Duke got taken out, that bag never made it back. No 911 call, no explanation to Duke's family, just silence. Meanwhile, the bag sitting cozy like it's part of Boozie's decor. Now let's talk about the missing phone, because this mess just keeps getting stickier. Right after that dice game, Duke's phone vanished. Gone. Nobody saw it. Nobody knew nothing. But baby, the feds, they don't miss. Phones leave trails, and Duke's last ping, not out in the streets, not in a ditch, but at Boozie's recording studio. Let that marinate, unless that phone sprouted legs and strolled over on its own. Somebody from Boozie's camp had it. You can't delete a signal. That was the final location before Duke's phone went dark forever. Another thread leading right back to Boozie's circle, but it gets even nastier. When the feds popped open Duke's rental truck, they weren't expecting to find some shadowy stranger. Nope, what they found was worse, Boozie's own nephew's fingerprints on the inside. That's blood, y'all. Family. Which means Boozie's inner circle ain't just brushing up against the case, they're neck deep in it. And baby, that's not where it ends, because there's more mess waiting just around the corner. And just when you thought this mess couldn't go deeper, it does. Because right after Boozie's nephew's prints came to light, guess who else got pulled into the storm? Boogie's little cousin. That's the family members, y'all, not hearsay, not speculation, direct forensic links tying them straight to the scene. We talking about real fingerprints, the kind that make federal prosecutors drool. In court, that ain't just something to consider, that's case closing material. But hold up, it gets even wilder. A witness, just a regular person, out grabbing a smoke, stepped forward and dropped a bombshell. They told investigators they saw Duke leaving Boozie's house, looking calm, chill even, like it was all good, like he just sealed a deal. But then, from the side of the house, not the front, Boozie's nephew came creeping out, lurking like he was in position, like this was a planned move, not some street beef that just popped off. Now, if you believe what the federal documents are hinting at and what the streets been screaming, Duke felt the shift. Word is, he didn't freeze. He didn't run. He swung first. He tried to fight his way out of what he realized was a setup, but it was too late. Boozie's nephew allegedly pulled up and didn't say a word, no warning, no yelling, just pulled the strap and let it ring. One move, quick, deadly, cold, and it all went down right there outside the same spot Duke thought was safe, where he thought he was doing real business with someone who respected his craft. Nah, that wasn't business. That was a trap. The way it played out, silent, fast, controlled. It's giving premeditated and bold, underlined and highlighted. But you want to know what really blew it wide open? The jewelry. That $1 million Louis Vuitton bag, it never made it back to Duke's people. No effort to return it, no call, no explanation. Just sitting comfortably at Boozie's place like it belonged there all along, and then there's Duke's phone. Remember that missing phone? Yeah, the last ping was traced not to some random alley or burner house, but to Boozie's recording studio. That's to Smoking Guns the bag and the phone both pointing straight to Boozie's front door. That ain't just messy, that's evidence. That's motive. That's a federal case stacking itself. The feds connected the bag, the phone, and the people caught holding it, and from that point on, it was Rap City. But oh, baby, the story ain't done. Now, the spotlight is shifting straight toward J. Prince. Yeah, that J. Prince, Mr. Houston himself, cause folks are starting to ask the real questions now. If J. Prince runs the city like he claims, how did this even happen on his watch? Let's not play. J. Prince is notorious for enforcing that check-in culture. If you come to H-Town, especially if you're a celebrity or flashy with money, you better check in or things get ugly. Robberies, setups, people going missing. That's the code.so now. People are wondering if Duke did check in. How did he still end up robbed, shot, and left for dead? And if he didn't check in, did J. Prince really not know? Or did he look the other way? The plot, way thicker than it started. And the questions, they're just getting started.
A certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that. Now a lot of people from the different police departments and all these different people want to insinuate like we extorting people.
That's the thing about Houston. The streets got a rhythm, and everyone who moves through him knows the code. You check in or you risk everything. That's how the city runs, always has. So now, if Duke really did check in, like insiders are claiming, it opens up a dangerous new question. Who gave the green light? Because let's be real, this hit ain't looking random anymore. It's starting to feel like someone let this go down right under the nose of the man who's supposed to have H-Town on lockdown, J. Prince himself. And the streets, they're side-eyeing hard. Even folks with deep mob connections are out here trying to clean it up, saying maybe Boozie's nephew went rogue. But not everyone's buying that storyline. Not even close. Too many people are asking the same question. How does something this loud go down in J. Prince's city? And he hears nothing, not a whisper, not a warning. Either somebody slipped or somebody looked the other way. And here's the part nobody's talking about, the detail that might flip this whole story. Duke was winning big, like clearing out the dice game one stack at a time. He wasn't there just flexing his jewelry, he was cleaning up, including off Boozie's own circle. That's when the vibe flipped. What started as a high-stakes, chill night turned ice cold. You know what happens when egos bruise and wallets shrink. Money and pride, that's a deadly combo. Duke was taking too much too fast. The laughter stopped. The tension thickened. That room went quiet, but not the good kind. The kind that gives you chills, the kind that means somebody about to make a move.so now. Here we are caught in a storm of unanswered questions. Did Duke walk into a setup from the start? Was this a calculated hit masked as a dice game? Or did a winning streak ignite bruised egos and spark a fatal mistake? Was Boozie calling the shots? Or just caught in someone else's dirty plan? And when this all finally blows open, who's really gonna take the fall? We want to hear from you. Was this a betrayal in disguise? A case of greed gone too far? Or did Duke's own success put a target on his back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because you already know we read every theory. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss the next deep dive into the wildest corners of celebrity drama. Until next time, stay locked in.